Part 41. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 401. Tao Ran didn't want to speculate, let alone be frightened. Chang Feng saw that she was stubbornly digging into the details, so he could only say a few more words to her. The wood spiritual energy of the magic vine is as rich as the real wood spirit, so as long as its evil energy is dispelled and its nature is purified, it can be used. But aren't you saying that the devil vine is the devil vine and its nature is hard to change? So, I have to work hard for you. You have to take it to temper it in the real heavenly tribulation thunder and heavenly punishment thunder. You will soon face the nascent soul heavenly tribulation, and then you can give it a try. The heavenly thunder can to eliminate all the evil spirits and evil spirits in the world. If it doesn't work once, then do it twice. If it doesn't work twice, then do it 4 times. One day, its evil spirit will be cleansed away. But, it's too much trouble. She was very busy. Why did she do this? Compared to other spiritual energies, thunder spirit energy is the least. Muyin Lei can do twice the result with half the effort for you and Yun 11's practice. Thunder Dang Demon just complements each other. There is no harm, why not do it? Of course, he would not remind Tao Ran that when she experiences the thunder tribulation, because of the influence of the wood spirit energy, the thunder she will experience will definitely be twice that of ordinary people. However, this is definitely a good thing for her soul. Of course, letting her keep the wood spirit had another more important benefit. You borrowed Yun 11's body to practice in this world. When you leave in the future, you won't be able to take anything you gain with you, including spiritual energy. But the demonic vine has already given birth to a spirit. If its demons are removed, it is a spirit. You can't take away the breath, but you can try to take away the spirit. When you refine it into a ball of pure spirit, use the sealing technique I just taught you to force that ball of spirit into your soul. Regardless of whether your Daoran soul can absorb it, that is all you can really do. Got it? The wood spirit carries the vitality of all things. If it succeeds, not only will the power of your soul be greatly enhanced, but the powerful regeneration ability may allow you to not be afraid of the constraints in the soul. If I were you, I would definitely try. Tao Ran roughly understood. Indeed, for her, as long as she could survive, as long as she could break the curse, and as long as she could escape Elizabeth's control, she had to give it a try. Otherwise, girl, do you still have the wine you drank in the cave? When the old man suddenly said this, there was hope in his eyes. Tao Ran only found it funny. Yes, there's still about 100 caddies left, so what? His old man is just a wisp of soul, and her wine cannot be delivered to him at all. Just have it. There was a smile on Chang Feng's lips. Then, the old man handed Tao Ran the soul-raising technique he had promised to teach before, and waved his hands one after another. Go. Go into the thunderstorm. Keep a little while to control the thunder, and practice it with your thunder sword by the way. Refining the magic vines, and then stabilizing the soul-raising technique. Is this asking her to do more than one thing? You really commend your disciples. She thought that at most she could only do 3 things at once. But she was still wrong. She held the sword and entered the thunderstorm. She felt the taste as soon as she started swinging the sword to control the thunder. Her heart is useless for anything. This is completely different from the last time Yun 11 came to practice. The thunder struck down intensively in an instant. Not only fierce, but also fast. This frequency is at least twice that of Yun 11. When he discovered that the more she blocked it with her sword, the thunder came down like rain, Tao Ran then remembered that it was not the cause of the thunder. Her sword was filled with a large amount of wood spiritual energy, which was attracting thunder and resisting thunder at the same time. This is like a funnel, filling on one side and leaking on the other. Want to know the results? It depends on who is faster. Is she crazy? In just 10 seconds, she was struck by lightning so much that she seemed to be able to smell her own flesh. Where is the little fairy with fluttering clothes that we promised? Thinking of the appearance in the cave that was blown up by thunder when she took out the water mirror, she still touched her hair without giving up. That damn dry feel, the explosive momentum that soared into the sky. Fortunately, when she entered the thunderstorm area, she deliberately changed into a high-level robe, so that she wouldn't be too embarrassed. She thought to herself that Yoon 11 and Lei Jian had already connected with each other. Why should she ask for trouble? She could stand outside the thunderstorm and practice sword fighting against demons, right? So, she threw the sword directly in the center of the thunderstorm, communicated with the thunder sword, raised her energy and ran out. However, she found that she could not escape from the thunderstorm area at all. After running for dozens of miles, she was still so far away from the shore. She glanced at the shadow floating in the air. How did you do it? The old man snorted, I created this secret realm, you can just do whatever you want. I told you to stay in peace and quiet for a while. Come out again after 7 days. 7 days? More than half of the 20 days in the secret realm have passed, and Tao Ran still wants to wander around to see if he can find some other opportunities. If you wait another 7 days, wouldn't that mean you only have 1 day left for yourself? Tao Ran could no longer resist the thunder. All she could do was to run away in a hurry to minimize the number of times she was hit by the thunder. Glancing at the old man, he saw a smile on his face. Ancestor, you can't take my jokes as a joke. I'm still kind to you. You're so unkind. The old man grinned. Stop talking nonsense. 7 days. You will be able to come out by then. Raise the thunder sword and use the soul refining technique I just taught you. Hurry up. The long wind stroked my long beard. This girl will soon face the catastrophe of nascent soul. Judging from her and Yoon 11's qualifications, God will not treat them lightly, so the thunder tribulation given to them must be extraordinary. But now her natal magic weapon has been lured by him to add such powerful wood spirit energy. In order to prevent her from being unable to withstand it, he will help her practice and get familiar with it now. In addition, any skill can be understood and used in the fastest and best way under crisis. Especially for soul refining, when you are nervous, the stimulation to your soul will be great, and you can get twice the result with half the effort during practice. The old man saw that Tao Ran was gradually able to withstand thunder from time to time while he was exhausted from running for his life, and he nodded slightly. He had to pay more attention to this child. She is the hope of the sect and Yoon 11's expectation. He himself hopes that she will succeed in the end. He has to give more anyway. Time passed bit by bit. For Tao Ran, life was indeed like a year in the beginning. But while escaping, she found a way to control the aura of the thunder sword. Soon, her sword was able to switch between 2 aura modes. It can be domineering thunder power, or it can be vitality and wooden intention. Just like a switch, you can switch it at will. And she also went back and forth between the 2 modes under Chang Feng's order. She soon felt better. Just like taking a sauna, between hot and cold, it promotes blood circulation. There are many benefits. This physical activity, which is similar to body training, is no worse than practicing meditation in a place with sufficient spiritual energy. She could feel that her dantian and consciousness seemed to be expanding all the time. The 7 days are up and the thunderstorm zone is no longer restricted. Tao Ran was still thinking about whether to practice for another day, and when he was about to speak, he realized that the old man was missing. But at this moment, the lake beneath her feet suddenly emptied out for some reason, and she fell straight into the water. More updates. Thank you Xiaoao for the 10,000 rewards, thank you. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 402. 7 days ago, Nian Bai, the head of the Qingyun sect, received a report from his disciples saying that there was something wrong with the ancestral hall. When asked why it was different, it was said that when a disciple offered incense to the ancestors, the incense was lit and extinguished 3 times. The incense was finally lit, but the tablet jumped again. Nianbai was heartbroken and rushed to the ancestral hall as soon as possible to kowtow in person. After that, he looked around and looked at the portraits of the ancestors hanging on the wall one by one. After looking into the eyes of Patriarch Changfeng, his heart skipped a beat. He actually felt the pressure in his ancestors' eyes, which almost made him kneel. That night, the ancestor fell into his dream and scolded him. After living for 3,000 years, he felt so helpless and aggrieved for the first time. Tao Ran was not prepared for this sudden fall into the water. Accidentally, she swallowed several sips of water. While she was busy looking for water drops in the storage ring, the old man's voice sounded in her ears again. I promised to give you an opportunity, and I can't break my promise. But my opportunity has long been turned into a part of the secret realm, waiting only for the right person. Now I will tell you that I still have the biggest opportunity left under the central lake here. If I am really destined, I think you will find it. I am waiting for you there. Hurry up, get moving. You only have 1 day. The sound disappeared, and Tao Ran finally took out the water-avoiding beads. A dry feeling formed around her. It was pitch dark at the bottom of the lake, so she had to find a luminous pearl hanging on her body again. Looking around the illuminated area, there was nothing. Below the thunderstorm area, there are neither fish nor aquatic plants. Opportunity, is it to stay underwater? She was confused and could only look around like a headless fly. Walking out of the thunderstorm area, I found nothing but aquatic plants, fish, and clams. She also picked up a pearl, the size of a quail egg. Smooth and shiny, top quality. If this thing were to be brought to the real world, it would be worth a sky-high price. But in this world, they are no different from fish eyes. It's a pity that I can't take it away. Tao Ran simply threw away the bead. The entire central lake area was hundreds of kilometers long and wide. If she searched blindly, she might not be able to find it even if she gave it 20 years. What did the old man just say? Where is he waiting for me? So from what he meant, did he expect that he would find an opportunity? Why? Why did he think he could find it? Did he leave a hint? Tao Ran held the sword, grabbed his hair, and repeated what the old man just said. Yun 11 has the root of thunder, and all her cultivation is done on land. When she entered the water, she almost had no clue. Okay. What a great opportunity, why put it in the water? In the water? Let her think about it. What kind of spiritual root does the old man have? No one in the sect seemed to have mentioned it. He left the opportunity in the water. Could it be the water spirit root? Can it? If the old man could suppress the fire python guarding the cave with the ray of his soul back then he must have a way to naturally suppress the fire python. He can only be Shuolingan. Waterborne wood. Now, the spirit of the demonic vine is sealed in the thunder sword, and the demonic energy is restrained. It is equivalent to catching half of the wood spirit in her hand. Near the old man's treasure opportunity, water aura must be more important than other places. She can't find such a place, but she can find water. With the wood spirit energy on my hand, I can definitely feel the natural affinity of the thick water spirit energy. The Thunder Sword is Yun 11's natal magic weapon, and it is connected with her heart. When she directed all her consciousness to the wood spirit energy of the magic sword, she seemed to have found her direction. An hour later, she arrived at a body of water. The water spirit here is much stronger than other places. It's not much different from other waters, except that the sediment on the bottom here has an extra set of fish bones. This fish bone is more than 2 meters long and can be considered a huge thing. And through the wood spirit energy on the spirit sword, Taoran could feel that the mystery lay in the fish bones. She started to turn over. Nothing was found. Until she dug out the fish eyes. At this moment, she believed that she and the old man were indeed destined. Not long ago she scolded Pearls for not being as good as fish eyes. The space shook. She was in a new place again. This is a hall. Simple, restrained, and quite high-end. Hanging on the wall is the portrait of the ancestor. Taoran smiled. Finally, I managed to get in. Sure enough, as in all stories and legends, the more advanced people are, the more they like to make mysteries, and the more they like all kinds of rituals. I have worked for the founding ancestor of the Qingyun section. The old man's voice sounded. Ancestor. She bowed. What are you looking at? Why are you laughing? The old man snorted. Smiling face, are there any rules anymore? Thank you, ancestor. Now Taoran naturally understood that the reason why the old man tried to let him collect the wood spirit earlier was to allow him to use the wood spirit energy to smoothly obtain opportunities. Otherwise, she knew very well that just because she was a novice in cultivating immortals, because in the plot Yun 11 practiced in the thunderstorm area for half a month without even noticing that there was a treasure under the water, and because of the old man's chance to hide it for thousands of years, it was not found by the section the monk discovered, that she would never be able to find this place in one day relying solely on her own abilities. It's not too stupid after all. He was really afraid that he wouldn't be able to find this girl. In order to find a way to give her a chance, he just brought her from the woods to Central Lake a few days ago, didn't he? He took great pains. Ancestor, what's next? Don't get too close. For it didn't you say you would give me a chance? Don't say it's something. Since it's an opportunity, I can't go against my own wishes. Therefore, the ceremony still has to go ahead. I will never give you any advice. The old man's soul has attached himself to the portrait. In the portrait, he moved his mouth. There are 3 treasure chests here, you can choose one by looking at it. Under the portrait, there are 3 gorgeous boxes. The first box is golden. In addition to many natural and earthly treasures, there is also a map of the secret realm. Where good things are produced, they are all marked. The second is a red box with several ancient books inside, recording many formations and talismans. Taoran remembered that when this ancestor was still alive, he was the master of the formation talisman. Probably because it has water spiritual roots and relatively weak attack power, he spent a lot of energy on the auxiliary magic circles and spiritual talismans. Taoran flipped through the ancient books that were written tens of thousands of years ago. Some of the things recorded in them had been improved during the circulation, while others were unheard of and should have been lost long ago. If you study these things carefully, they will be of great use. The third box, blue, contains 3 incense sticks and an incense burner. This Changfeng, as you can see, the first box is a ready-made treasure. In the second box, you can learn from me. In the third box, you can give me a stick of incense and pay homage to me. Then during the time of this incense stick, I can talk to you freely. Hurry up and make your choice. Changfeng Ding Ding looks like an immortal. Seeing Taoran pick up the thunder sandstone in the first box, the old man immediately spoke again. Girl, you have to think about your choice. Puff. Taoran smiled. Old man, you just have to say it clearly, right? You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 403. Choose well, the old man almost said it clearly. Taoran smiled. Faced with treasures and exercises, who doesn't want them? Who wouldn't want to take them all if they could? At this time, according to the routine, the choice that often seems the simplest, the least advantageous, and the most disadvantageous is often the most correct and wise. Therefore, there was no need for the old man to signal openly and covertly. Taoran originally wanted to choose the blue box. She received favor from the old man, how could she be ungrateful? In addition, the old man has water spirit roots, and they are still underwater at the moment. All the indicators indicate that the biggest opportunity lies in the blue box. So, under the old man's keen gaze, Taoran finally chose the blue box. Then she lit 3 incense sticks and bowed respectfully and sincerely to the long wind on the portrait. However, it's not like the ancestor has fallen. This is both an incense burner and a place for worship. Wouldn't it be bad luck? Okay, the old man laughed. Well, the opportunity of the blue box is the reward for your loyalty to the section. Not only can you chat with me, but you can also get the incense burner and everything in the other 2 boxes. If you are willing, I hope you can get these things. You can share it with the sect. This is what my disciple means. But don't take everything away, right? Why don't you leave some treasures for your future junior brothers and sisters? Take it away. It's been 10,000 years and no one has come yet. I can't wait any longer. The old man's eyebrows and beard were raised again. To be honest, I was afraid that you made the wrong choice just now. What's so scary? Don't let the good news go to outsiders. I just made the wrong choice, and these will be left to the future descendants of the Qingyun sect. You don't know, I happen to be what the Qingyun sect needs most right now. There is no chance. Most of the heavenly materials and earthly treasures in the golden box are hard to find in the world of immortality today. Take it back and give it to Nianbai. Will take a look and see if there is anyone who can help him continue to make breakthroughs. If you can help him ascend, the 500 years you gave him will not be in vain. Nianbai has a good nature. Even after being scolded by him for a long time in his dream, he was still respectful. It's a pity that I have finally reached the late stage of spiritual transformation, but still haven't been able to ascend. Give the things in the red box to Lu Yun. The array he got for you last time was pretty good, and his title of genius, which has been rare in thousands of years, is not in vain. Since he has a lot of time, let him. If he studies these secret symbols and formations, he may be able to make another breakthrough. It also saves him from always focusing on various emotions. The most important thing is the incense burner. Changfeng motioned to Taoran to look at his hands in the portrait. A complicated technique was devised. The incense burner instantly grew in size and was as big as a room. Get some high-grade spiritual stones and put them on it. Taoran did as he was told, and with a wave of his hand, 30 high-grade spiritual stones flew out, and the entire incense burner tinkled. Not only did it become bright, but it was also filled with spiritual energy. This is the fleeting furnace. You, go in. Go inside. Taoran took out the 3 sticks of incense burning in the incense burner, replaced the incense sticks with the incense burner she had brought with her, and put them respectfully under the portrait before flying into the incense burner. She had just sat firmly, and the lid of the incense burner above her head was already closed. The old man's voice came, "Don't worry about anything else, practice Ajotian first. At the end of the week, the time has come." Could she have been forcibly ejected from the secret realm? Taoran was full of questions, but the spiritual energy in the incense burner was really active. Thinking of the 30 high-grade spiritual stones, she was not willing to waste them, and quickly started practicing obediently. At the end of a week, she was not ejected from the secret realm. After opening the stove lid, she couldn't help but ask, "How long has it been?" 6 hours. So, got it? Taoran was surprised. She had clearly spent a day and a night in the incense burner. But the time is actually only half gone. Looking at the incense burner, the incense inside was only half burned out. This magic weapon was given to me by Taoist Qinji, a close friend of mine thousands of years ago. The flow of time inside and outside the incense burner is different, so it is most suitable for catching up with time. 1 day in the furnace, 2 days outside, as long as the spirit stone can keep up, you can go one step ahead and seize the time as much as possible. Take this magic weapon back. The old man sighed. I really didn't expect that the time when the nascent souls were everywhere and there were so many transformed gods has long passed. In today's era, this magic weapon should be of great use. Seize the time and get a few more transformed gods and a few more souls. Ying, you are not afraid of the demon sect, and your master sect will not be harmed. The old man showed Taoran the complicated technique of opening the incense burner again and asked her to learn it several times. There was still time, so the old man helped Taoran improve the array plate used to imprison the demon spirits in the cave. He pointed out several places and asked her to ask Lu Yun to help with the modification. Time flies. The fragrance gradually comes to an end. It's getting late, it's time to say goodbye. The old man urged Taoran to put all 3 boxes of things into the storage ring. I'm still very optimistic about you. After you go back, use the magic weapon to practice well and strengthen the strength of the section. We can't let the sect have no successors and be tainted by the demon sect like in your story. Remember to protect the Qingyun section. The old man kept mumbling in detail. Taoran, in the future, junior brothers and sisters will come to the secret place, and I will ask them to come and see the ancestor. The old man just smiled at her and did not answer her words. Taoran's test failed, and he knew that his guess was probably going to come true, and he felt instantly disappointed. In the future, when you, or Yun 11 ascends, we'll see you again. Yes. Disciple must work hard. My opportunity has been given away, and the demon spirit has been taken away. It's time for me to rest. Ancestor. She really hoped she didn't understand. Thank you. I would like to thank you too. Without you, I would have disappeared into that devil's cave sooner or later. Without you, my inheritance would have been cut off. I am very happy to meet you. The old man smiled heartily. Come on, didn't you say there is still 100 kilograms of spiritual wine? Before the last bit of fragrance dissipates, put the wine on the table quickly. Let me take one last sip of Qingyun sex wine. I have been guarding this place for more than 10,000 years. There's no taste in the secret realm, I'm really hungry. Taoran quickly took out all the spiritual wine on his body and sprinkled it on the ground. How could she not understand that if the old man could drink this sacrifice, he would completely disappear? She was in a hurry and dug out all the wine around her. She hoped the old man would drink a few more sips. Seeing that the incense had bottomed out, Taoran kowtowed again. I hope my ancestor will be safe and sound in the fairy world. Haha, you too. Otherwise, I wish you can escape from the imprisonment of the soul as soon as possible. Realize great freedom. Good wine. Good people. It's gone. It's gone. The old man's voice gradually faded away. The old man in the portrait is no longer alive. In the blink of an eye, the entire portrait turned into dots of aura. The old man is gone. An old man who knew her is gone. But it was only at this moment that Taoran's heart twitched, the corners of his eyes became sore, and 2 lines of tears fell down. So much so that when she was ejected from the secret realm, she was still kneeling in tears. This world is so different. Although this was the most unrealistic world for her, here, in her own form, she received as much care as if she were a close relative. The old man is also the only person in the real world and the mission world who knows all her conditions, can understand and help her, and also loves her. Because she cherished her too much, she was so sad when faced with the separation of life and death. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 404. What happened? Tao Ran also didn't expect that the person waiting for her at the exit of the secret realm would be the headmaster, Uncle Nian Bai. Nian Bai was shocked by her kneeling down in tears. Nian Bai was in a state of confusion and had no idea what was going on in the secret realm. Who is Yun 11? Just like his junior brother Lu Yun, he would not even shed tears, even if the blood was drained, he would not even groan. He would always have the aloof temperament of a banished immortal, the kind of person who is cold and detached from the dust. Now he is crying and kneeling, which makes his heart go crazy. Hair. So, Nian Bai created a barrier on the left and another on the right, and released a large thick fog, before dragging Tao Ran onto his escape light. When Tao Ran was taken away, he saw Yan Yan waiting not far away with his mouth wide open. Undoubtedly, she came to pick up Yun 11 when the time for the secret realm was up, waiting for Yun 11 to give her the opportunity to pick it up for free. Tao Ran looked away coldly. Ha, Yan Yan is so unlucky. I have already forgotten about her. Originally, she could still get some income from the secret realm. Now, since she was taken away by Nian Bai first, naturally her things will be handed over to the sect directly. Nothing will happen without her. Nian Bai was scolded by Patriarch Chang Feng in his sleep that day. Chang Feng scolded him for having no eyes, and for having a disciple bring monsters into the secret realm without knowing it. He also accused him of being brainless and allowing the demonic vines to grow in the secret realm for thousands of years without any knowledge. Then he scolded him for being incompetent in managing affairs and allowed cats and dogs to become the direct descendants of the sect. Of course, I didn't forget to scold him for not working hard enough, and he couldn't give up on himself even if there was only a slight hope. Even if you can't ascend, even if it's for the sake of your sect, you still have to try your best to survive. The old man felt that the current situation of King Yun's sect was wrong and bad. After scolding Nian Bai, he started scolding Liu Yun again. Nian Bai in the dream was shocked again and again. While he knelt down and expressed his opinions in various ways, he was also very puzzled in his heart. Hasn't it been tens of thousands of years since this ancestor ascended? Hasn't the passage between the mainland and the fairy world disappeared? Then how does this old man know so many things? Only then did the old man tell him that there was a ray of remnant soul left in the secret realm. Thanks to Yun 11's appearance, he helped him remove the demonic vine that had been suppressed for thousands of years. He also told the sect to cultivate Yun 11 well, and also to educate him well. Reward Yun 11, help Yun 11 nourish his soul, help him refine magic weapons, etc. After waking up, Nian Bai calmed down for a long time and went to the secret realm early this morning. Tao Ran and Nian Bai were the only ones left in the meeting hall. But Nian Bai still hit a few more bands one after another, then served a pot of the best Yunwu fairy tea and pushed it to Tao Ran, waiting for Yun 11 to calm down. Tao Ran was more rational and her mood had long since returned to normal, but she did not speak immediately. Instead, she drank 3 cups of fairy tea, and then sat down for a while to absorb the spiritual energy in the tea. Only then did Nian Bai notice that she had taken another step forward and was already in the late stage of Jin Dan. How much has this girl done in 20 days in the secret realm? Entering the small steps, meeting the ancestors, catching demon spirits, and getting opportunities, Nian Bai wanted to know what happened, and scratched his head and ears anxiously. Soon, he was even more shocked. Because he watched Tao Ran take out every opportunity he got this time from the storage ring. There was no room for it on the table, so Yun 11 sat on the floor and placed everything directly on the floor of the hall. Box after box, box after box, box after box. It seems that there is no end to it, and there is no end to it. And the further back she goes, the better things she comes up with. There were a few things that even Nian Bai had never seen before. Since there was no one else around, Nian Bai simply sat on the floor and looked through the treasures. He was shocked by the quantity and quality, and even more suspected that Yun 11 had emptied the entire secret realm of good opportunities. When the restraint was clicked, Lu Yun came after hearing the news and was let in by Nian Bai. What he saw was the scene of senior brother and disciple sitting in a pile of treasures. Yun 11 was talking about how the ancestor used his last remnant soul to contain the demon vine in the secret realm, and how he accidentally knocked down the demon vine, which helped the ancestor's remnant soul get rid of its imprisonment and get a chance. It's no wonder that Renping and Yan Yan are always jealous of Yun 11. The two elders really cherish her. After hearing this, they all gathered around her to ask questions, and then they became concerned about the whereabouts of the monster. The two of them took Yun 11's thunder sword and studied it for a while, and then breathed a sigh of relief after confirming that the demon spirit was firmly sealed in the sword. Then, the two of them discussed adding something to ward off evil spirits and clear away demons on the thunder sword. You two, please put this aside for now. I have something else to give you. Tao Ran took advantage of all the opportunities he got on the last day. This is what our ancestors left for you when she gave the gold box and the red box to Nian Bai and Lu Yun respectively. Their hands were shaking. Who among them could have imagined that there was such a huge opportunity right under their noses, and that they could still pick it up for nothing? Two great transformation gods actually got the credit of a golden elixir disciple? Just as the two of them were about to take a closer look at the contents of the box, Tao Ran took another jade box and came to Nian Bai. Uncle, I also have an opportunity to give it to you. As soon as they opened it, the sweet and refreshing spiritual energy made all three of them feel refreshed instantly. Nian Bai had lived for almost 3,000 years, and this was the first time he saw such a big, red, and energetic Qi-Yuan fruit. His eyes immediately went straight. He knew at that time the value of the fruit. Given its size, it could add at least 500 years to one's life. I can't accept this. You must accept it. You must live well. With you here, the sect will be more stable. So it is not only for you, but also for the sect. Tao Ran then told the old man to ask the two elders to study the treasures in the two boxes. Said it again. When she took out the incense burner, the two elders were even more shocked. They have heard of this magic weapon. They thought it was a legend, but they didn't know it really existed. This opportunity is also left to the sect, so that we can all make progress together in the future. I have thought about it. This incense burner can be used as a sect reward, allowing more junior brothers and sisters to make further progress faster. Lu Yun, do you have any other opportunities? Gone. Lu Yun still defended his shortcomings. Then you took out all the opportunities. What do you have? For Tao Ran, he got half a wood spirit. For Yun 11. As long as the sect grows stronger and both master and uncle are well, that is disciple Yun 11's greatest wish. She didn't lie, it was indeed the case. I disagree. Lu Yun waved his hand, and a huge jade box appeared out of thin air. The apprentice cleaned up the monsters for the sect this time, eliminated such a potential crisis, and brought back so many good things that were beneficial to the section. There is no reason to hand them all over to the sect. He grabbed something on the ground and threw it back into the jade box without even looking at it. No one stipulates that what you get must be filial to the sect. While no one sees you get so much, I don't think the head brother will say much. Take it away quickly. Take at least half of it. Liu Yun raised his eyebrows and looked at Nian Bai. Nian Bai took the red yuan fruit and was soft-spoken, yet he dared to say no. He pretended to catch a strange fruit and looked at it intently, as if he hadn't heard it. Lu Yun knew that he had agreed, so he immediately grabbed a few strange fruits and stones with thunder properties in the red box. Considering that demons are afraid of fire and gold, he simply grabbed a few more metal and fire properties. The spiritual treasures were all stuffed into the jade box that was returned to Yun 11. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 405. Master is fighting for Yun 11's rights and interests, but it would be unreasonable for Tao Ran to hold back. She accepted the big jade box generously. Lu Yun was still discussing with Nian Bai. The incense burner was obtained by Yun 11. Although Yun 11 is willing to hand it over to the sect, the ownership should be given to Yun 11. If Yun 11 wants to take back this incense burner in the future, she must return it. In addition, Yun 11 must use the right to use it first. She has not, no one can rush her before she runs out. What does senior brother think? Nature. Yun 11's hard work has made great achievements. Senior brother, have you thought about how much reward you will give him? How about 1 million sect points, 100,000 high-grade spiritual stones, a free order for the library, and priority rights to the armory, elixir store, and warehouse? Liu Yun nodded. His always stingy senior brother was finally kind this time. Give Yun 11 the authority to enter the sect's secret vault 10 more times. Can. Yun 11's daily life in the section. You don't need to say this. Nian Bai felt that Lu Yun, who had always been casual and free-spirited, would act like a mother-in-law every time when it came to problems involving his disciples. Yun 11 is the most valued disciple of my sect, and her treatment will be the best in the sect. Tao Ran was very understanding and quickly bowed and thanked the two elders. Lu Yun, Yun 11, do you have any other requests? If you put them forward, the leader will consider them. Nian Bai whispered, I want you to be generous to others. There are really two of them. Tao Ran motioned for the two of them to sit down. First, I would like to ask that today's affairs be kept low-key. In the secret realm, I hope that the sect can help keep it a secret. Don't let anyone know that I got the magic vine and sealed it into the spiritual sword. Don't let anyone know either. I got the opportunity of my ancestor from the secret realm, including these treasures. Because of this, she is more willing to take advantage of all opportunities. Keeping it in the name of the sect is much better than leaving it here. Both of them nodded. Yun 11 has brought back too many treasures, and if word spreads about them, people will inevitably speculate whether she has acquired an incredible ancient inheritance. In order to avoid unnecessary trouble and chaos, it is indeed better to keep it secret. To the outside world, just say I was injured. Can. I'm going to think about it specifically. Just take what I say, is that okay? Yes, how can I say no to this little thing? In addition, Patriarch Changfen believes that my sword needs to be cleansed by thunder. The best thing is to wait for the catastrophe. Lu Yun and Lu Yun nodded together again. Thousands of miles away, as long as there is someone who responds to the heavenly calamity, we will definitely send you there in the name of the sect. Now that we have talked about this, Lu Yun said to Nian Bai again, Senior brother is good at refining weapons. When Yun 11 is in need, senior brother must do his best to help. Especially with Yun 11's thunder sword. You don't need to tell me this, I will take action on my own. He will not forget that the thunder sword has a magic vine sealed on it. Yun 11, I will keep your sword for now. In the past few days, my uncle will add some thunder attributes to your sword. Liu Yun, take it and raise it in the Spirit Sword Sect's Thunder Pond for 99 and 81 days. Nian Bai suddenly laughed, only you can do this. Who doesn't know that his Hongling fairy has placed her love on you for hundreds of years? If you go, only a few people can agree to this. Tao Ran smelled the gossip. I thought about it, oh, this is indeed the case. The Spirit Sword Sect has a thunder pool, and the center of the thunder pool can breed thunder by itself. And there was an immortal girl there who had been showing her goodwill for hundreds of years after losing to Lu Yun in an exchange, but Lu Yun only regarded her as an ordinary Taoist friend, an acquaintance. Tao Ran suppressed a smile and quickly thanked his master. Liu Yun snorted, hugged his red treasure box with a look of boredom on his face, held the incense burner in his hand, and left with a flick of his sleeves. Looking back, Yun 11 was still standing there, breathing heavily again. A gust of wind blew up, and Tao Ran was pushed away by the wind brought by the flowing clouds. In the blink of an eye, she had reached the escaping light of Liu Yun. Tao Ran didn't know whether to laugh or cry. Master, I still have to ask the headmaster for something to nourish my soul. Just wait, Liu Yun went back on his own without saying a word. Tao Ran narrowed his eyes. Could Liu Yun really have any other feelings for Yun 11? It was hard for her not to think too much about the master and disciple who followed each other without fear of life or death. While waiting on the clouds, Tao Ran happened to see senior brother Lu Rui coming to see the leader below. She waved her hand, and the blood on her face and lips instantly disappeared, and she fell directly from the cloud. Lu Rui immediately noticed and caught the person with his spiritual sword. After looking at it, I realized it was Yun 11. Junior sister, what's wrong with you? Tao Ran's breath was very weak. Thank you, senior brother. She sat down on the stone bench conjured by Lu Rui. Lu Rui immediately pulled out his storage ring, and then handed over a cup of spiritual dew and a pill. Tao Ran took the spirit dew and drank it, thinking that Lu Rui was indeed a kind person. It's me, I'm afraid I'm going to be a bad guy and take advantage of him a little. She pushed the elixir past, indicating that it was of no use to her. Junior sister, what's going on? Lu Rui wanted to check on Yun 11, but Yun 11 waved her hand. I was seriously injured in the secret realm, and the damage was to my soul, so the elixir didn't work. Even my sword was broken. No matter how good your acting skills are, it's hard to deceive the monks. Only the injury to the soul cannot be noticed by these minor cultivators. Tao Ran's eyes immediately turned red when he saw two fellow seniors who were passing by also gathered together. No wonder I didn't see my junior sister wearing a sword. This explained it. No wonder I heard someone say that the junior sister collapsed as soon as she came out of the secret realm, and the master was so frightened that she immediately brought her back. My uncle and master are trying to find a way for me to see if my sword can be repaired. Everyone said it was a pity. Who doesn't know that the sword of destiny is connected with its owner, and both will be damaged if one is lost. Yun 11's soul was injured, so how could her natal sword be any better? In the past, when was Yun 11 not in high spirits? But now, the whole person was listless, sickly, lazy, and completely without energy. For a while, there were sighs again and again. Originally, I wanted to congratulate junior sister for her further improvement in cultivation. Lu Rui knitted his brows. Tao Ran smiled bitterly. Blessings and misfortunes depend on each other. The price paid for this step forward is too high. While talking, there were a few more people. Tao Ran also started telling stories. If I had known it, I would not have entered the secret realm on behalf of junior sister Yan. As soon as I entered the secret realm, I entered the grassland, but because of the spiritual ball given by junior sister, I was attracted by those 6th level beasts. I finally escaped from the grassland and got a step closer to the thunderstorm area, but when I entered the forest area, it turned out that something strange happened there. Bala, Tao Ran is talking serious nonsense. Not only did she bring Yan Yan in, she also focused on the weirdness in the deep forest area, saying that there were many monsters there that could attack the soul, and there were also a lot of strange wood auras. I am afraid they had given birth to high-level monsters that could attack the spirit of the soul. She did it on purpose. She is almost the most powerful golden elixir cultivator in the sect, but she still suffered serious injuries in the dense forest despite possessing thunder spirit roots. Normally, when disciples who have just formed elixirs have the opportunity to enter the secret realm, they naturally rely on chance to leave. The dangerous jungle is as far away as it is. Except for the other kind of people. If the demon sect deliberately placed the demonic vine in the sect, then now that Tao Ran's story has spread, they will naturally understand and know that the demonic vine they planted has grown successfully. In this way, you can continue to stabilize the demon gate. Secondly, once you know that the fruits you grew at home are ripe, what will be the next step? Naturally, we have to pick it. Yan Yan has no chance. Who will be next? Was Yan Yan chosen by the demon vine or the demon sect? If it's the latter, they will definitely have to select someone to bring out the magic vine. Can the sect just wait and see? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 406. Tao Ran's story is a success. So when Lu Yun came out from the headmaster's place and found Yun 11, she was already surrounded by dozens of monks who were asking for help and expressing regrets. Seeing Lu Yun approaching, everyone stepped back and saluted consciously. Master, did you ask for a spiritual object from your uncle? Tao Ran sent a message to Lu Yun. Master, take out the things you asked for. Quick. Liu Yun could only respond and gave him a jade box. Tao Ran opened it in public and saw that inside there was a complete length of high-grade soul-nourishing wood, several soul-reviving grasses, soul-refining beads, a can of soul-nourishing tea and several soul-refining and soul-nourishing spell books. Everyone sighed heavily. They couldn't see the joy and anger on Uncle Lu Yun's eternal face, but they knew that Lu Yun never lied. Seeing that the master had given so many soul-nurturing things at this moment, Yun 11's soul was severely hurt. Believe it or not, everyone couldn't help but encourage Yun 11 again, asking her to relax and practice well. God will be kind to her. When Tao Ran was taken away by Lu Yun, the brothers and sisters below were still talking about it. Fine. She smiled slightly. In less than half a day, the news that her soul was hurt in the secret realm will be completely spread. This time, she wants to pretend to be a pig and eat the tiger. Your thoughts move much and quickly, Lu Yun muttered. Tao Ran's heart skipped a beat. I'm showing off a bit. People who cultivate immortality are informal and often don't spend too much thought on small things. He was able to include so many of his fellow disciples at once. In Lu Yun's eyes, he was thinking more about himself. In the secret realm, I saw my ancestor working hard to the end to contain the demonic vine even if there was only a trace of his soul left. The disciple felt that we should all work harder. The master was furious and entrusted his dream to his uncle. You must have heard about it. Master has high hopes for you. The demon sect has secretly reached into the sect a long time ago. Their thoughts are long-term and careful. The disciple is really scared and must find a way to do something. From now on, the master can just relax and practice while the disciples are responsible for cleaning up the sect's troubles. Tao Ran talked casually and found an excuse for his change. She was about to run away, but Lu Yun grabbed her again. The master and uncle are supporting us, so there is no need for you to charge into battle. Your top priority is to improve your cultivation. Master, don't worry, the disciple will work hard. But the disciple has no plans to make any breakthroughs in the near future. Don't forget, 3 years from now, there will be a secret realm of golden elixir that is opened every 50 years waiting for the disciple. Miss this after this time, the disciple will not be able to go again. So the disciple will not be too busy in the next days. Master, just rest assured and study the opportunities left by the master. Everything about Tianjian Peak involves the disciple. The disciple is sensible and didn't like to speak in the past. Now he can say so many words in one breath and grow up so fast. Lu Yun is very pleased. He patted Yun 11 on the shoulder and said, I will never let you down as my teacher. Tao Ran wanted to laugh, but he still followed Yun 11's example and just nodded slightly. In the future, you have to remember to be more restrained. She was able to tell Chang Feng her true origin because she was exposed and faced death. But she would never dare to face Lu Yun and Nian Bai. Especially Lu Yun, he treasures Yun 11 so much, God knows what he will do to him who takes over the body of his beloved disciple. When he snaps his fingers, she is afraid that her soul will fly away, and she shudders just thinking about it. she decided to stay as far away from Liu Yun as possible in the future. As soon as he arrived at Tianjian Peak, Liu Yun's consciousness caught sight of Yan Yan waiting at Yun 11's residence. He pulled Tao Ran again. You said that before you entered the secret realm, Yan Yan gave you her wood spirit energy. Could it be the kind with the original energy? This. You leaked something before, but my teacher heard it. Master, junior sister, she also has difficulties. Tao Ran took a sip of tea. She just hopes that I can help her get more opportunities, get more treasures, and complete the sect mission earlier. Master, the junior sister is very pitiful. After the junior brother was imprisoned, she was completely out of her mind. She went out to do the sect mission. Even I don't trust, Master, how can you pretend that you don't know about this? After all, you brought her back. Don't plead for her. Yun 11 didn't mention that it was him who brought Yan Yan back, but when he did, he felt even more uncomfortable. She is a good little girl with high talents, but she has bad habits that cannot be taught no matter how hard she is taught. He is not afraid of others scolding him, he just feels sorry for his old friend. Yun 11, my teacher knows that you are kind-hearted, but please stop being a bad person. That junior sister of yours almost got you killed, yet she still flouted the sect rules and tried to fake the sect's mission. Now her deeds are known to everyone in the section, she can't hide it. She is a disciple of Tianjian Peak. If her master doesn't punish her, how will the people of Tianjian Peak gain a foothold in the sect in the future? As a senior sister, if you don't take care of her well and dare to protect her, you can't escape the blame. Master, I think you have merit this time. I won't hold you accountable for the time being. Why don't you go back and practice hard? Yes. If you help your junior sister stand out again, I will punish her twice as much. No. Master, don't be merciful. Tao Ran was so happy that he immediately went down the hill and went straight to his residence. As soon as she landed, she was grabbed by Yan Yan. Senior sister, how is it? Is my spiritual balloon working? How many treasures did I get? Why did my uncle go to pick you up in person? Did you get some great opportunity? I'm sorry, junior sister. What's the meaning? Your spiritual sphere was destroyed as soon as I entered the secret realm. How is that possible? Senior sister, are you trying to steal my opportunity? I don't. Yan Yan became anxious and looked Yun 11 up and down. When she saw that her cultivation level had improved again, she became even more furious. He Yungzi. I didn't expect that you, who is usually pure and simple, and is called a genius, turned out to be a sneaky person. Tell me, what opportunity did you take away from me? I said why I feel so empty recently, tell me, is it you, what exactly did you take from me? Junior sister, I'm injured. I don't believe it. You're lying. As Yan Yan said this, a ball of spiritual energy turned into a vine and shot towards Tao Ran. But as soon as the vine took shape, it was crushed to pieces by a ball of golden spiritual energy. Absurd. Only then did she see her master descend from the sky. How rude is it to yell at senior sister? If you dare to touch senior sister for no reason, you are being treasonous. Yan Yan became even more angry, pointing at Tao Ran and gritting her teeth. Hey He Yungzi, you've gone too far, the master was nearby, but he didn't tell her. This was obviously intentional, causing her to be caught by the master. Master, Yan Yan cried and stepped forward to greet her. Senior sister, she has taken away my opportunity, do you still want to protect her? What opportunity did Yun 11 take away from you? Lu Yun looked at him with blazing eyes. The opportunity brought by your wood spirit energy. Master, do you know everything? She glared at Yun 11 again, thinking that Yun 11 was the one who was informing her again. This senior sister of hers is really bad. Your master, I am not deaf. I heard everything you just said as a master. Liu Yun sneered. The only opportunity that would spiritual energy can bring is the magic vine. Now she says she has a sense of magic vines. So what is she? The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 407. Lu Yun's eyes were so terrifying that Yan Yan was frightened. She didn't dare to plead anymore, but stepped back step by step. The spirit ball it was senior sister's idea. It has nothing to do with me. At this time, you still dare to blame your senior sister. You cheated and flouted the sex rules. Not only did you ignore your senior sister's injuries, but you also dared to take action against her. Do you still have a master in your eyes, or do you still have a sect? Your senior sister is better than you in everything, so why do you need to steal your opportunity? With a mind like yours, what kind of good opportunity do you expect? I'm so angry. If the true demonic vine chooses Yan Yan, who has powerful wood spirit roots, what will be the consequences? Whenever he thinks of this, he becomes terrified. Although Yan Yan is not the core disciple of the sect, he is the person closest to him and his senior brother. From now on. Upon hearing that the master was about to punish him again, Yan Yan immediately knelt down and begged Yun 11 again. Senior sister, please save me, help me, plead for me, clarify for me. Tell master, the spirit ball was your idea, you told me to find strange flowers and herbs for me to submit the sect mission. I just said I'm just joking with you, I don't really want to attack you. Senior sister, please help me. At this time, Taoran naturally wanted to help. Master, please spare junior sister. Shut up, all of you, Lu Yun interrupted directly. Yan Yan, now that things have happened, you still dare to instigate senior sister to help you cover up in front of master, what crime do you deserve? Yun 11, did I tell you that if you plead for her again, Yan Yan's punishment will be doubled? Master must punish her severely today. I will give you 3 breaths of time to disappear, otherwise, you will be punished along with Yan Yan. What are you waiting for? Taoran naturally left a message, Master, please calm down, junior sister, take care, and left immediately without looking back. Yan Yan was miserable this time. Fearing that she had been infected by monsters, Lu Yun and Nian Bai took turns to examine her, and everything from her blood to her meridians to her soul were not spared. She was eventually thrown into the Siguo cave, where she had to reflect for half a year. Like Ren Ping, the ban on her Siguodong was placed by Nian Bai himself, and no one else could open it. But she is worse than Ren Ping, because after she was released from Siguodong, she still had to do sect tasks. Lu Yun said he would give her sect points as a penalty, and he tripled the points. She must earn back 15,000 points to complete the sect's mission. Liu Yun also set a time limit for her, 5 years. If she cannot complete the points in 5 years, she will be demoted to an ordinary inner disciple. Yan Yan was filled with hatred and asked Lu Yun whether he could be worthy of her father if he was so cruel. When I do this, I am really responsible for you. Let's reflect on it first. Lu Yun left. Yan Yan couldn't figure out what she had done wrong. Inexplicably being punished one after another and carrying so much. It was obviously his senior sister who encouraged him to take out the spiritual balloon, but his master didn't believe him. It was obvious that his senior sister had stolen his opportunity, but no one believed it. One day, she will make them regret what they have done. Taoran obediently practiced at his place. She stayed in the incense burner for a whole day with peace of mind, and it was not yet dark when she came out. She couldn't help but eat. Although the monk is fasting, she is still a human being, and she still enjoys the taste of delicious food and the pleasure of eating. After eating and drinking, she returned to the incense burner. She has been thinking about the soul nurturing technique taught by Chang Feng. She hopes that one day, her soul will be strong enough to be like Elizabeth and the ancestors, and can transform the environment at will and control the enemy. Early the next morning, Liu Yun came. He threw over a new soul-nourishing wooden sign. All night long, he helped her get the wooden sign. Wear it carefully, and don't take it off when practicing. This wooden plaque is engraved with a formation of energy concentration, which will be of great benefit to you. Lu Yun took out Yun 11's spiritual sword again. The spirit sword sensed Yun 11 and flew around Yun 11, as if to show off its difference. After working all night, Nian Bai had already added a few thunder attribute gems to it. The entire spirit sword was full of thunder power, and Tao Ran felt it had an extraordinary feel when he held it. Lu Yun took Tao Ran's sword again. Master will take the sword to the spirit sword sect to ask for nourishment in the thunder pond. This trip will last for about 99 and 81 days. During this period, our affairs at the peak will be handled by Master. Your uncle will take care of it. You practice well. If you have any questions, please contact Lu Rui. Yes. Master, don't worry, my apprentice will take good care of himself. Liu Yun checked the entire formation of Tianjian Peak again, and after giving some instructions, he left the section. Thinking that Lu Yun would not be able to come back for at least 3 months, not only did he not have to worry about it, but he also didn't have to see Renping and Yan Yan. Tao Ran couldn't help but feel happy. In the entire Tianjian Peak, I am the only one. She played at home for a while, then went to find the leader, but Lu Rui stopped her outside. Master is in retreat. Retreat? Are you studying the golden box given by your ancestor? Still? Yes. Master has realized something and needs to stay in seclusion for a while. Tao Ran faintly smelled a hint of familiar sweetness in the air, and instantly understood. Nian Bai ate the red yuen fruit he offered. Fortunately, the sect will have no worries for the next 500 years. Junior sister, what are you laughing at? I'm so happy for my uncle. Tao Ran looked at Lu Rui. In fact, he was not looking for Nian Bai, but Lu Rui. As my junior sister is here, won't senior brother Lu appreciate the tea? Lu Rui quickly served good tea and asked her if she was feeling better. I need to take care of my problem. Master said that a better mood will help with recovery. Lu Rulian nodded. Tao Ran pushed over a gift. Junior sister, you should keep it for yourself. Lu Rui refused to accept it. It's not easy for the junior sister who is the fastest in cultivation in the sect to be injured. He doesn't know whether he will be able to recover in the future, and he doesn't know how many times more effort he has to make than others. How can he still accept the poor junior sister's things? Reject me without even looking at it? Tao Ran opened it for him, and there were 3 fire lin stones inside. Senior brother has a fire spirit root. This should be very useful. If you don't want it, I will hand it over to the section. No reward for no merit. Then senior brother, please do me a favor. Tao Ran smiled. Nian Bai accepted 4 apprentices. The eldest apprentice was addicted to alchemy, the second apprentice was obsessed with dueling, and the third apprentice followed him to refine weapons. Only Lu Rui, the younger apprentice, was the most reliable. Nian Bai values Lu Rui very much, but he is helpless that his life is approaching. In the plot, Lu Rui has not been trained yet, and he will not be able to do it. The position of head was passed to Renping after Lu Yun, and Lu Rui had nothing to do with him at all. And Lu Rui, as the most capable fighter of their generation, eventually died on the battlefield. Tao Ran felt it was a pity. Lu Rui is now in charge of various chores in the sect, and is equivalent to the president's secretary. After doing so many trivial things, I can still practice cultivation, which is already very impressive. In this life, Nian Bai will live 500 years longer, and everything will be different. Tao Ran also hopes that Lu Rui, as the mainstay of the sect in the future, can go further. Therefore, She not only wanted to have a good relationship with Lu Rui, but also hoped to help him. Senior brother, can you get me a blank ID tag? The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 408. Blank ID badge. Junior sister, why? Lu Rui wondered. It's just in case. My master is not here, my uncle is in seclusion again, and the demon sect has been staring at me. My soul is still damaged now, what if I am targeted again? In view of the previous incidents, it can be seen that the sect is not completely safe, right? So I plan to change my appearance when I go out in the future. What do you think, senior brother? Tao Ran could only come to ask Lu Rui for this matter. Because Lu Yun and Nian Bai, who were frightened by the magic vine, would definitely not agree. Facing the junior sister who spoke so eloquently and made people feel sorry for her, Lu Rui couldn't find a point to refute, so she could only accept it. Senior brother, don't worry, I won't cause any trouble to you. Lu Rui was a kind person and quickly did it for her. So that day, Tao Ran typed his new name on the identity card, Tao Ran. Lu Ruiting was very interesting and helped people to the end. He even helped transfer Tao Boron's name to the Foreign Affairs Department he was in charge of. There are many people coming in and out of the Foreign Affairs Hall every day, and it also manages many small sects nearby. No one will notice you again. As long as you don't talk to others, no one will ask you anything. Thank you, senior brother. Lu Rui also helped her transfer part of the sect points on Yun 11's identity card to her new identity, which greatly facilitated her walking. Tao Ran gave Lu Rui a thumbs up. He is so attentive and worthy of being a good candidate for the leadership. Tao Ran pressed the ice-refined muscle onto his face and simply copied his face in real life. Of course, the face should be rounder, the eyes should be smaller, not so pretty, not so cold, but more kind-hearted. She liked the new name, the new face. She wanted to keep the traces that her master had given her, the evidence that she had been here. After restraining the thunder energy from his body, he changed into simple robes, found an ordinary spiritual sword that he had used before, and secretly descended the mountain. After the transformation, Tao Ran showed her face to Lu Rui and others after suppressing her cultivation level, but no one realized it was her. She took a good tour of the sect and went to the warehouse first. She has earned a lot of spiritual stones and sect points, and she has achieved her goal of spending freely. The cost in the secret realm is huge, so you have to replenish supplies carefully. All the food and drink were exchanged for some. The pocket is full of high-grade spiritual stones, which is too inconvenient. After Tao Ran exchanged a lot of low-grade spiritual stones, she went straight to the cafeteria. She is so hungry. The monks only want to break through and are not interested in material desires, let alone the desire of words. Therefore, she is probably the only greedy person in the entire Tianjian Peak. In the past, even if she was on a diet to lose weight, she would eat fruits, vegetables, and light milk. However, she has been in this world for so long and has not had a good meal. She is not hungry, but she is greedy. In the past few days, even my dreams while napping were full of delicious food. But there was no kitchen in her residence, and there was no rice, noodles, etc., only bigo pills. Looking through Yun 11's spiritual food bag, in addition to dry rice cakes, there are also dried meat. She ate so much of these things when she was in the secret realm that now she feels like vomiting just looking at them. She felt that there should be delicious food in the sect's spiritual dining hall. But she was wrong. Just like in the real world, you shouldn't think about how delicious the food in the school or workplace cafeteria is. It's about satiety and maybe nutrition, but it's about the color, flavor, and flavor. You don't have to have high expectations. Tao Ran left the sect in despair. She went directly to Fangxi and after asking passers-by, she found the restaurant with the best reputation in Jiafang City and ordered a few signature dishes. This time, she was finally full. But it's a pity that the quality of the dishes is pretty good, but the taste is average. If she hadn't been busy cultivating, and if she hadn't had to hand this body back, she thought, she might have opened a spiritual food restaurant of her own. If she wasn't afraid that Lu Yun would be suspicious of her, she would definitely find a kitchen to cook in Tianjian Peak. After packing 10 complete meals, she walked out of the restaurant to the stunned expressions of the waiter and diners. She found another weapons shop and picked out a high-grade metal spirit sword that was readily available. After shopping around, she bought several sets of good-looking and high-end cassocks, selected the best spiritual wine in a tavern, and ordered another 100 caddies. Probably because she was too ostentatious along the way, she was also targeted by thieves. After beating the little thief until he knelt down and begged for mercy, she turned him away and sent him to the Fangxi patrol team. Then she returned to the sect. She went to the martial arts hall that she had longed for. Is it easy for her? Although she has a lot of cultivation and a lot of magic, she still doesn't know how to fight. On paper, she didn't know when to use which spell, when to attack and when to defend. She doubted that she couldn't even defeat Yan Yan now. Just like in the secret realm, as long as she was familiar with magic, she would not be chased by thunder on Lei Lake and run around in a panic, making the old man laugh and treat her like a show. She needs actual combat. So that's the real reason for her makeover. While her master and uncle were away, she had to quickly raise her fighting power so as not to reveal her secret. She suppressed her cultivation to the late stage of foundation building, and then directly entered the ring after using her name as Tao Baran. She stopped using all thunder spells and only used her sword and ordinary moves. These are basic skills and she must master them. At the beginning, she was really not used to the close combat in the ring. She was in a hurry and was even chased and beaten by a little foundation building cultivator. 3 defeats in 3 battles. But after half a day, she was basically able to achieve a mixed victory and defeat. She was already satisfied with this. Fighting during the day and practicing in the incense burner at night, there was no delay at all. After 7 days of this, she had made rapid progress and had almost no rivals in the foundation building field. She let go of part of her cultivation and changed the venue with her initial stage of golden core cultivation. Another 10 days passed, and she was already able to challenge the monks in the middle stage of golden core. Tao Buran's name also became loud in the martial arts arena. Normally, when monks from sects compete with each other, they only point to the point. But Tao Ran refused. He would either beat someone to the point of breaking off his hands and feet, or he would be tortured until he vomited blood. Not many people fought like this. Soon, she almost became the dominant player in the ring, and many people wanted to fight her by name. Some do it to clear their names, some do it for revenge, and some simply want to compete with the strong. Tao Ran regarded this as a process of gaining experience. Although it was painful, tiring and painful, her huge progress made her unwilling to stop. She regards the ring battle as fun and even more as a battlefield. In less than 3 years, she will enter that secret realm. There, she had so much to do. She must quickly improve her strength. That night, she had just finished recovering from her injuries in the room of the Foreign Affairs Hall and secretly returned to her residence when she was blocked by Lu Rui. "Why do you go to the ring every day?" "Senior brother, my soul has been injured, and many techniques involving the soul cannot be used. Just think that I am exercising and practicing swordsmanship. I can't give up on myself. It is always good to have more self-protection skills." Tao Ran lied to Lu Rui again. She felt sorry for it and gave Lu Rui a whole meal to eat. Lu Rui promised that he would turn a blind eye to her in the future. After returning, he also sent her a lot of spiritual fruits and elixirs that were beneficial to bodybuilding. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 409. On the 50th day after Lu Yun left, the sect announced that the sect competition scheduled for 10 days later would be postponed for 3 months. The reason is that the leader has not yet left seclusion, and Elder Liu Yun has not returned yet. But that day, Tao Ran stopped Lu Rui and asked to compete with him. Lu Rui didn't want to. Tao Ran took out the incense burner. If you compete with me, I will lend you the censer for 1 night. If you beat me, I will lend you the censer for 2 days. Only then did Lu Rui realize that junior sister had such a good magic weapon. Tao Ran did this not only to improve his own strength, but also to help Lu Rui improve his cultivation quickly. Lu Rui is the number 1 golden elixir in the section. If she can really defeat him, then she will naturally be able to walk sideways in the golden elixir secret realm that will soon arrive. Helping Lu Rui was not only for the sake of the sect, but also to give him enough time to advance quickly. Tao Ran also hoped that Lu Rui's nascent soul heavenly tribulation could help her get rid of the demonic energy in the sword. Of course Tao Ran couldn't defeat Lu Rui. Lu Rui, after realizing the benefits of the incense burner, took the initiative to come to the door. He said that he was willing to come and spar with her every day. He didn't ask for the incense burner to practice every day, as long as Yun 11 gave him time when she didn't need it. In addition, the spiritual stones needed for the daily incense burner are all his. This senior brother is so kind. Tao Ran knew that he would still be busy dealing with sect affairs during the day, so he readily agreed to give Xian Lu time to him every night. From that day on, Tao Ran used the incense burner during the day, and every evening, Lu Rui would come to compete with her. Yun 11 and Lu Rui are not the same masters, and they haven't played against each other many times, so Lu Rui doesn't know much about her actual level. Because of this, Tao Ran could confidently and boldly ask this kind senior brother for advice on matters that he did not dare to ask Lu Yun. Another month has passed, and both of them have made rapid progress. Especially Tao Ran, who can now use 99% of Yun 11's skills. When she did not shy away from the senior brother and showed all her strength, she knew that Lu Rui must have understood that the theory that her soul was damaged was just a cover-up. On this day, without the magic weapon in hand, Tao Ran was finally able to survive 200 moves under Lu Rui. A draw means Lu Rui actually lost. Lu Rui was convinced, while Tao Ran breathed a sigh of relief. She finally basically matched Yun 11's strength. Now in the plot, Yun 11 easily defeated Lu Rui in the sect competition, but it was too tiring and difficult to catch up all the way. Tao Ran thanked Lu Rui profusely, left the incense burner with his senior brother, then went back and fell asleep, only to get up 2 days later. On this day, Nian Bai finally came out of seclusion. When Nian Bai reappeared, his dejection was gone, and his face was much more radiant. Most of the wrinkles on his face were reduced, his cheeks were rosy, and some green hair had grown on his originally white temples. In his own words, he absorbed the scarlet yuen fruit very well, and coupled with some of the spiritual objects brought back from the Yungzi secret realm and the elixir he researched himself, under the urging of the scarlet yuen fruit, he managed to get at least 600 this time. To 700 years of life. Therefore, in the next 600 years, the sect will still have 2 gods, and it will still be the number 1 among the 8 great sects. Nian Bai was very happy, and so was everyone in the sect. The sect's grand competition and my 3000-year birthday are approaching. Post a message to the other 7 sects and invite them to come to the banquet to watch the competition. Nian Bai gave the order. Through the birthday celebration, he wanted to let the whole world see that he was still alive. Still have to live. He wants everyone to know that not only is the Qingyun sect not declining, but even the next generation is outstanding and outstanding. He also wants to scare the demon section. The Qingyun sect is not that easy to fall, so there is no way he can try to trick them. Nian Began announced that all members of the sect can participate in the sect competition. In addition, the rewards have been tripled to make everyone more interested. For a time, the entire sect was in full swing, and everyone was enthusiastic. Especially the martial arts hall was very lively. 12 hours a day, all arenas are full and queues are required. Many people were talking about and asking about Tao Boran, who had suddenly disappeared recently. Some people even went to the Foreign Affairs Hall to ask where the girl who was good at fighting and ruthless was, and wanted to fight with her. It was only on this day that Lu Rui found out that the master's opportunity and the incense burner were secretly obtained by his junior sister, and he was shocked for a moment. He also benefited a lot, so he promised Taoran to keep her lack of injury and chance matters a secret. So when someone asked Tao Boran again, it was already registered at the Foreign Affairs Hall, out for training. 3 more days later, Lu Yun finally came back. When he arrived at Yun 11's residence, he saw the tired master, and Yun 11's heart felt sour. Taoran took a deep breath and sighed secretly. This silly Yungzi felt sorry for her master. When he activated his spiritual sword to commemorate the wood's spiritual energy, Taoran could sense that at least a quarter of the evil energy had been purged. Lu Yun, in the first few days after entering the lay pond, the effect of eliminating demons was obvious. But after all, the monster was already alive and very cunning. It cut off a quarter of its demonic energy as a cover and fell into a deep sleep. In the short term, the lay pond Tian Li it is no longer useful to it. If we want to force it out again, I am afraid it can only be a thunder disaster, and it must be a particularly powerful one. Master, thank you for your hard work. You have helped me a lot. From now on, I will work hard to get rid of its evil spirit. One thing you can rest assured is that the monster's spiritual energy has been greatly damaged and it won't be able to wake up for a while. In the short term, you can use your natal sword with peace of mind. Taoran thanked Lu Yun again. Liu Yun has been gone for almost 100 days now, so you can imagine how difficult it is to ask other sects to open their secret land to an outsider. Liu Yun asked her a few more questions and left. Taoran felt that Lu Yun was a little unhappy, but later he found out that the Hongling fairy had followed him to the sect. After asking Lu Rui, he found out that Hongling, the daughter of the head of the sword sect, let Lu Yun use their thunder pool on the condition of being a guest at King Yun Sect's Tianjian Peak for 100 days. This condition made Taoran a little unhappy. The master is obviously unwilling, but she still comes. Isn't she just stalking him? Just after cleaning up Yan Yan, here comes another one. It's really. My free days are completely over. Sure enough, while the two of them were still whispering, Nian Bai had already sent a message, saying that a banquet would be held tonight to welcome Fairy Hongling. What do you think of Fairy Hongling? Taoran asked Lu Rui. Fairy Hongling is known as the most beautiful woman in the sword section. She is aloof and has a good reputation. I heard that the person who wants to marry her can go around the entire sword sect 3 times. However, she is infatuated with her uncle, which is also touching. Do you think my master and her are a good match? No. Lu Rui shook his head firmly. I feel that since you are on the path of cultivation, you should not be constrained by small loves and small loves. Breaking the shackles and living freely is a higher and better pursuit. Especially my uncle, he is a genius who comes once in 1,000 years. The youngest transformed god in the entire continent is the future of the section. Speaking more broadly, he still carries the hope of the monks in the entire continent. Ascension is difficult, but he is the most promising. He should not be tied down. Taoran gave a thumbs up. After confirming the 3 views, Lu Rui and himself are the same kind of people. Lu Yun was destined to bear too much. If Hongling wanted to tie him up, he would have to do something for Yun 11 or the sect. The heroine who wears fast is really a boss. Author, Ruo Shui 1111. Chapter 410. The dinner was specially set for Fairy Hongling. She appeared on the throne and was on an equal footing with Lu Yun. It's not because of her noble status, but to put it bluntly, it's because the sword sect is behind her. The head of the sword sect is her father, and the most powerful elder of the sword sect is her uncle and her master. And her uncle had no heirs, so as the only apple of the older generation, the two old men doted on her very much, almost to the point of obeying their every word. In view of this, even though Lu Yun had no feelings for Hong Ling, he could not completely break up and cause discord between the two sects. Qingyun sect is number 1 among the 8 major sects, and the second one is Jian sect. The Jian sect also has 2 gods, but neither of them are as good as the Qingyun sect in terms of qualifications or combat power, so they are the second in number for 1,000 years among the 8 major sects. However, with the passing of the sun, everyone knew that the sword sect would soon replace the Qingyun sect. Under such circumstances, the Qingyun sect was even more tolerant of the Jian sect. Firstly, they are afraid that life will be difficult in the future, and secondly, they are worried that if the balance within the 8 major sects is broken, the hundreds of years of peace between good and evil will also be affected. Therefore, Qingyun sect was very polite to Hong Ling. However, Nian Bai's arrival was long overdue. Displeasure flashed across Hong Ling's face. She originally thought that the rumor within the Qingyun sect that Nian Bai was successful in seclusion was just a false impression, but she didn't expect that Nian Bai's face was really rosy and full of vitality. From top to bottom, she could see everything. Not even the slightest bit of death energy. Although her main purpose when she came this time was Liu Yun, she naturally wanted to inquire about the internal situation of Qingyun section. If Nian Bai fails, their sword sect will be able to take control of the Qingyun section. Who would have thought that this would be an unpleasant beginning? Catching a glimpse of the long-lost smile on Lu Yun's face, she secretly snorted, but she still had a bright smile on her face and gave Nian Bai a gift. Tao Ran was also laughing at this time. In the plot, there is no such thing as Hong Ling's visit to the section. It can be seen that because of himself, the direction of the story has completely changed. Although Lu Yun agreed to Hong Ling's request because he wanted to use the Thunder Pool, he didn't necessarily have the intention of letting Hong Ling come to see the power of Qingyun sect, right? The same is true for Nian Bai. On the surface, the etiquette is in place, but in fact, being deliberately late is the real neglect. He was beating Jianzong, and Qingyun sect was impossible to be manipulated by Jianzong. Hong Ling smiled and bowed to Nian Bai. Hong Ling came to Qingyun sect to complain. In the next 100 days, Hong Ling will stay at Tianjian Peak. I hope the master will take care of him. We are all old acquaintances, why bother? Needless to say, if Hong Ling stays with his front foot, his back foot will become famous all over the world. She lives at the top of Liu Yun, and if word spreads, it will inevitably lead to tongues wagging. Nian Bai is an old fox, his smile is even brighter, but he doesn't let Hong Ling take advantage at all. Hong Ling, don't worry. With me here, you will live without any worries. There is plenty of space in Tianjian Peak, so just live in peace of mind. It's better to come early than to come late. In more than 2 months, it will be the day of my 3,000-year birthday and the sect competition. I have already posted widely, inviting all sects to come and participate. Hong Ling, you represent the sword sect, and you are the first person to come to our sect to congratulate me. On behalf of Qingyun sect, I would like to thank you for coming. With just a few words, Nian Bai clarified the purpose of Hong Ling's trip and completely distanced himself from Liu Yun. Before Hong Ling could speak, he ordered his men, tell the world that Fairy Hong Ling, as a distinguished guest, has arrived and stayed in our sect first, and invite other distinguished guests from other sects to come to our Qingyun sect earlier. Don't let Fairy Hong Ling be bored and embarrassed here alone. Hong Ling's expression did not change, but she had scolded Nian Bai several times in her heart. Is this okay? She wanted to keep a close eye on him to see if Nianbai had returned to his former glory or if he had used some forbidden technique. If it's the latter, don't blame her for being ruthless. When the time comes, she will want to see how Qingyun sect can survive among the 8 sects. How can I be embarrassed and boring? Now that you have moved into Tianjian Peak, Liu Yun, you won't even show your friendship as a landlord, right? She gave Liu Yun a flirtatious look. The friendship of landlords must be ended. Liu Yun quickly answered, but next, Qingyun sect will receive distinguished guests from all parties, prepare banquets and competitions, and be responsible for the safety of heroes. As the general manager of all affairs this time, I am afraid that I will not be free for the next 3 months. I hope Fairy Hongling will bear with you. He had decided that he would not return to Tianjian Peak for the next 100 days. Liu Yun, like Nianbai, did not give Hongling any loopholes to take advantage of. He called a few disciples on the spot and asked them to serve Fairy Hongling personally in the next 100 days, ready to be dispatched at any time. Hongling was filled with anger. She turned her eyes and stared at Yun 11, who was sitting under Liu Yun, and then waved her hand. Tao Ran stepped forward generously. Hongling, who regarded herself as an elder, gave Yun 11 a greeting gift. Tao Ran bowed and thanked her. Before she straightened up, she already frowned and said, without giving Yun 11 any face, Liu Yun, aren't you the 3rd disciple? Why is there just one here? I don't know, I thought you looked down on us. Where is the sword sect? Liu Yun said calmly, there are 2 other disciples who each made some mistakes and are thinking about their mistakes behind closed doors. Hongling took a good look at Yun 11. We haven't seen each other for decades, and this Yun 11 has become even more beautiful. This time your master came to my sword sect to help you refine your sword, right? Externally, Liu Yun only said that Lei Lingan's disciple's natal sword needed to be refined by Lei Qi, so he would not let anyone know that his true purpose was to eliminate demons. You are so lucky. Lei Lingan is great. It advances quickly and is very popular. I heard that Yun 11, you are regarded as a genius disciple of Qingyun sect. In just a few words, Hongling attributed Yun 11's strength to talent. Tao Ran smiled, sister, you are not bad either. Aren't you an ice spiritual root? You also have a mutated spiritual root. You advance quickly and are rare. If you are not the pearl of the sword sect, as long as you are willing to practice hard, you will definitely become a success. A genius disciple. Hongling almost spit out a mouthful of old blood. WTF? Are you scolding her? Tao Ran's eyebrows, eyes, and lips are all curved. Right? Just scolding you. Yun 11's thunder spirit root is good, but your ice spirit root is bad. With such good qualifications and resources, they have not even been able to break through to the middle stage of nascent soul today. How dare you secretly scold others for relying on spiritual roots to advance? Where are you, old lady? Why don't you take a closer look at yourself? What I'm scolding is that you are so bad that you can't even become a genius disciple. He even scolded you for bullying others because you relied on your family to get ahead. Hongling finally lost her composure, and the smile on her face gradually stiffened. Liu Yun, this disciple of yours is neither old nor young. How can you talk to your elders? Who is your sister? If I don't call you sister, what should I call you? Tao Ran expressed confusion. In terms of seniority, your master and my master are brothers. As apprentices, we are naturally equals. In terms of status, you call the head of your family dad, and I call the head of my family uncle. We are still equals. In terms of age, the head of my family is 2,000 or several hundred years older than you. My master is also several hundred years older than you. Only you and I are similar, we are still the same generation. In terms of combat power, you are only at the beginning of Yu and Ying. You are several levels behind my master and uncle, but you are only one level behind me. I will work hard and within 2 or 3 years, I will be the same as you. Look at it this way, we are still the same generation. I don't think there's anything wrong with me calling you sister, no matter how big or small you are, it's not me either. Yes or no?